Just picked up another nickel box, so it's time for part 4 of this hunt and fill. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and I went back to my bank and got another nickel box. We're going to do nickel box number 4 of this hunt and fill. You'll recall in the previous episodes that we have now completed 105 of the 138 Jefferson Nickels for this album. And of course, it's getting more and more difficult now to find finds the further along we get. As an example, we need a 17 million only minted 58p, an 8.2 million 55p. You can see that a lot of the ones we need are under 50 or 60 million, except for some of the war nickels, which I'm hoping we find some more of. We also could use some better examples of some of these, but with that being said, I'm not trying to replace all of these for the most pristine examples I can find. Only looking at ones like this 1964p that's pretty toasty, things like that I'll want to replace if I find them. And of course, if I find any really good examples, I'll pull them aside and see if they upgrade, because if they catch my eye, they'll probably be better in the album. I'm going to go ahead and close this album up, hoping that we can fill at least 2 or 3 more spots no matter what out of this. And if we can get any semi-key or key dates, that would be nice. Or any silver nickels to help the cause would be great as well. Now this is a bank sealed box, but it has the holes in the bottom, so I was able to validate that it is circulated nickels. So we're going to go ahead and crack into it right now live and see if we have any good enders to get our hopes up for. All right. There we go. Top is popped. Looks like we got some older Jeffersons for sure in this box. That's a good sign, but I don't see anything that's screaming war nickel or buffalo nickel. All right, we'll begin the hunt. I'll loop you in along the way with any finds. And of course, after a certain amount of rolls, if I feel like I have some things to put in the album, we'll go ahead and cut to the album, fill it up, and then continue the hunt. I'll see you after we find something. Roll 2, got our first 40s nickel. It is a 1948. I think that's a 48S. It is a 48S, and we don't have a 48S in the album. So we will have to fill at least one more hole on our first find. Nice. So excited that I was filling the hole, I forgot to mention a 48S is a semi-key date. That's why I figured we didn't have one. And we didn't. Now let's get back to the hunt. Roll number 5 is going to yield a 1954 nickel, and this one's a 54 Philadelphia. Just checked the book, and we don't have a 54 Philadelphia either, so 2 finds, 2 spots filled. We're off to a blazing start. Roll number 10 is going to yield a 1959 Philadelphia. We don't need that, but this is a pretty nice one. Maybe it'll upgrade. Roll 13 is going to yield a 1940 out of Philly. Roll number 17 is going to yield a 1939. Will it have a mint mark? We need a D or an S. No mint mark, but we will check it for the doubling to see if it has that. And I don't see any doubling, so it's just a 39p. And we already have a few of those, but I'll never turn down taking a few more. Roll 18, literally the next roll, and right at the beginning of the roll, we've got another 1939. Another 39p though. Like I said, we'll definitely take a few more, but we'd also like to see a DDR as well. Either way, 39p number 2. Roll number 19, and we've got a 1942 here that's completely warped and damaged. And I think it's a 42p. That might be a D, man. It's got so much damage it might not even be a Denver at all. I don't know what's going on with this coin, but something crazy. Almost like a lamination error, or just from all of the destruction to it, it has received some damage. We'll call it a 42p, but unfortunately, I do need one for the book, and that's not very nice. But we'll take it. Fills a hole for now. Hopefully we find another one down the road. Roll 22. We've got another 50s nickel. 1954 Philadelphia. That's our second one from 54p. We'll choose the best one for the book. Roll number 26, and it won't help the book, but we will not be Buffalo skunked. Just flatten him down after pulling away the first 5 coins, and I see the head of the buffalo. Is there a mint mark? I don't see a mint mark. Let me just double check. Man, it's hard to tell. There might be an S there. I'll have to look at that once I wipe it down. But before we do anything further, we know it's a type 2. And it is slick. Let me take a closer look at it. And if I can't get a date or a mint mark, I might nickadate it and be back. All right, I've got it up on the screen. You can clearly see there's something here, and that might be a Denver, or it could be an S. So because it's a type 2 and because there's a mint mark most likely, I'm going to nickadate the bottom side of this side, as well as the date area here. I was trying to get a good look at the date area without nickadating, but man, I can't see any detail, to be honest. And what we're really hoping for is that it's a 1913D Variety 2. That would be awesome. But we'll take a 1914D or any of these right there. And based on its condition, I would say it's probably a teens, could be a 20s, and it probably has a mint mark. So let me nickadate both the back and front and bring you back in. So good news and bad news. It's not a teens, it's a 20s. It's a 1928. It was tough to nickadate. This thing did not want to reveal any information, but you can see a 28 right there on the screen. And the bad news is it does have a mint mark, and I think that's a D based on what I see, but it could be an S, but I'm going to go with D. So I think what we've got here is a 1928 Denver Buffalo nickel. Not a key date or a semi-key date, but still a 20s Buffalo nickel in the box. And I'll take that all day. Now let's get back to the hunt and see if we can fill more of that album. Roll 29, and we've got another 1939 nickel right here. Still looking for that Denver or San Francisco minted 39 year. And it won't be again. It's our third Philadelphia of the box. Confirmed by no mint mark there. And our third non-DDR. But again, we'll take those all day. Roll 32, we've got another 50s find. This one's a 1957 Denver. We already have a great one of those, but it's a find nonetheless. Roll number 43, we found a 1940 Philadelphia. Roll 34, and I almost missed it because it's beat up, but it is a 1953. And I don't know if that's Denver or Philly. Looks like it's a 1953 Philly. We'll add it to the board and look for more. Same roll, and we've got another 50s nickel, 57 Denver. Roll 36, and we've got a 40s nickel, and this one is a 1947. I saw it. We only need the S for this year. And look at that. Is that an S? It is. Another spot will be filled. Roll 43, and we found our first Canadian, and staying true to these boxes, it's another one in the 80s. 1984. It'll go nice with that 2009D we also found. Roll 45, and we have another 53. This one, a 53S. And we have one of those. I just checked the album. It's right there. But it could upgrade. We'll check it later. Same roll, and we've got a 52. And we need a 52P and a 52S. And it's a 52P. One we didn't have. Roll 49, and it's not a find, but I thought I'd show you the three amigos, all for one and one for all. Man, they are together. Roll 50, another 52. This one, Denver. Well, we finished those 50 rolls, and I know we have some to add to the book because as we were hunting, we were looking at the book. But let me go ahead and get them all sorted. I do have a couple of more modern dates in here that probably will upgrade the ones that I had that are pretty beat up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So we'll see if those upgrade. Not a lot of finds as far as in the box. We only had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from the 50s, and 3, 5 from the 40s, and 3 from 1939. We did get that Buffalo nickel, a Canadian, and an 09D, but those won't make it in the album. Let me sort through those and see what we add and or upgrade. For the post 1960 or 59, if you will, I am going to upgrade that 1978 Philly. It's slightly better, and that 64P is better. The other ones didn't upgrade. Let me add those, and we'll do the 50s next. For the 50s, I will definitely update that 59P. It is nicer. We are adding a 54P, it's the only one we got. Slightly upgrading the 52D and adding a 52P. We'll get those added in and move on to the 40s. We're going to be adding 3 from the 40s, a 48S, a 47S, and it's a bummer, but that 42P, even though it's damaged, it's the only one we got. Let me add those in and give you a recap to let you know how many spots we filled and how many are left after 4 boxes. All right, here's a look at the album. We now have 110 of the 138 spots filled, so we were able to fill 5 more spots. That makes me happy. That being said, there's still 28 more spots, and we do have some that need to be upgraded along the way. Still, 110 out of 138 spots filled through 4 boxes? Can't get mad at that. It's going to be tough if we're not going to find silver war nickels in our boxes, though, to fill this album. Either way, I'll take it. It's another fruitful hunt. 5 more spots filled. Plus, we get to add 339 to the collection and a beautiful 1928 Denver minted Buffalo nickel that I had to nick a date, unfortunately. If you enjoyed this Hunt and Fill Part 4, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting and thanks for watching.